Ready?
Yeah. T1.
Right here.
T3.
Right here.
T7.
Right here.
Supraspinous ligament.
In between each process.
Costovertebral junction.
You can't really palpate it, but it's where the ribs connect to the vertebrae.
Trapezius.
Right here.
Paravertebral muscles.
Right here.
Scapular muscles.
Right here.
L3.
Right about here.
L4.
Here.
L5.
Right here.
Step off deformity.
For this one, you just test to see in between L4 and L5 or L5 and S1 to see if the one that's higher up sits more anterior to the one below it.
Median sacral crest.
Right here.
PSIS.
Right here.
Iliac crest.
Here and here.
Gluteals.
Right here.
Ischial tuberosity.
Lay on your side and flex your hips and knees. And then that's right about here.
Greater trochanter.
Here.
Sciatic nerve.
Here. Next we'll go into active range of motion. So I'll have you come over here. And then we'll do flexion first. So I'll have you just tuck your chin. And then you measure before they go. And then you have them bend forward. And then the length should get longer. And then same thing, come back for extension. You measure it and then have them lean back. And then for this one, it should get shorter. I can't really measure it right now because I have one hand. But it should get shorter. And then for rotation, you have them sit on the edge of the table with their feet on the ground. And then on here. Then you want to hold the camera. And then rotate this way. Okay, and then rotate the other way. Wait, hold on. Other way. For this one, there's not an exact measurement. They should just be fairly equal. Next, we'll go into passive range of motion, flexion. So I'll just have you lay down on your back. And then you'd have them bend their legs. And you would hold here. But I only have one hand, so I can't really do that. And then these hands at their side. And then you just go underneath their back and with this arm and then just lift. It's kind of hard to do with one hand. Extension, I'll have you flip over. For this one, yeah, you have your both their hands like this. And then I would stabilize here with this hand, but I have to hold the phone. And then other hand up here underneath their chest. And you just bring them up and back. Flexion should have a firm end field due to rib articulation and posterior ligament. And then extension should have a firm end field due to the spinous processes and anterior ligaments. And then next for rotation, you have them lay like legs back up like this again. And then I would stabilize here. You want to hold it actually. Stabilize here with this arm, and then you just have them go down, keeping their upper body and hips on the table. And then that one should also have a firm end feel. Next, I'll go into manual muscle testing. So for this one, we'll do flexion first. So for this one, I'm going to have you lay on your back with your legs like this again, and then stabilize at the pelvis. And then I'm gonna apply pressure to her chest, and then just have her sit up. So she would be full strength because she's uninjured. And then that one is testing her rectus abdominis and internal and external obliques. And then for extension, I'll have you flip over. For this one, you stabilize at the lower back right here. And then, I'm not gonna do that though because I'm holding the camera. And then apply pressure up here and then have her just lean back. With her hands should have actually been interlocked behind her head, but it's fine. That one's testing erector spinae muscle group. And then for rotation, I'll have you flip back over. And then for this one, I would stabilize here, have you bring your legs back up, and then stabilize up here, and then just have you try and rotate your upper half with her lower back, or lower half staying on the table. Okay, and then same thing the other way. Yep. And this one would be testing the internal and external obliques, rotators, and multifidus. And then next I'm going to go into special tests. So I'll have you flip over, and I'll do the spring test. So this one, I would be using both thumbs, but I'm holding the camera. And just press down on your side of the spinous process. And it should spring back up, but if you don't feel a spring or any movement and there's pain, it's indicative of facet joint sprain. Next one, I'll have you come sit at the end of the table. And we'll do Valsalva. So you would just instruct them to make a fist like this, take a deep breath, put their fist to their mouth, and blow out into it. For that one, if there's pain in their back or like difficulty doing it, then it's an indication of a herniated disc. So I'll let you have that back. And then you can lay back down on your back with your legs extended. We'll do Milgram's test. So for this one, I just stand at the end of the table and instruct them to extend their legs up. Try and hold it for 30 seconds. For this one, if they can't do it or if there's pain, it's indicative of a herniated disc again, so you can bring your legs back down. Next, I'll do Hoover's sign. So for this one, you have them laying the same way and hold here, and you have them lift one of their legs, and then you do it bilaterally technically. And if you don't feel pushing down of the opposite leg when they lift it, then it's indicative of malingering or just inability to lift their leg. Next I'll do straight leg raise. So for this one, you'd have them laying like this again, and you stay on the side, you lift the leg, and then you internally rotate and adduct, and then you raise it until they say it hurts, which apparently it hurt Shayna. And then once it hurts, you just bend the knee a little bit, and then the pain should go away, and then you dorsiflex the foot, and if the pain comes back, then it's indicative of a sciatic nerve irritation. And then next I'll do well straight leg raise. So for this one, they lay like this again, and then this time you go to the uninvolved side, and then I think you just hold on. Oh yeah, you hold here and you keep it in extension on the unpainful side, and you lift it until there's pain, and then if there's pain on the opposite side when you lift it, and you can test bilaterally, if there's pain on the opposite side, then it's indicative of a herniated disc. Next I'll do bowstring test. So for this one, again, you hold here, and then you keep the knee in extension, and you lift it, and then once they say it's painful, you bend the knee, and then the pain should go away, and then you palpate in the popliteal fossa, and if the pain comes back, then that's indicative of compression on the sciatic nerve. And next I'll do Koenig-Budzinski's test. So for this one, you'd have them interlock their hands behind their head, laying down, and tuck their chin, and then you have them flex their hips but keep their legs straight. And then once there's pain, you have them just actively flex their knee, and it should go away. And if the pain goes away, then it's indicative of nerve root irritation. And then the last two, I'll have you stand. It's okay, it's close. Next, I'll do Stork single leg standing test. So for this one, you just would put hands on either side, but I only have one. Just to stabilize, have them lift one leg, and then extend, so lean backwards. And if there's pain on the weight-bearing side, it's indicative of a pars interarticularis fracture, and you can test bilaterally to see which side it's on. And then last, I'll do quadrant test. So for this one, you put both hands on their shoulders, but I only have one, and you just apply downward pressure. You have them extend, and then lean to the side, and then rotate out, and as you're still pushing down. And you can test this one bilaterally. And they have a reproduction of radiating pain, then it's nerve root impingement. If it's reproduction of local pain, it's facet joint pathology, and reproduction of isolated pain over the PSIS, then it's SI joint dysfunction. So next we're going to do dermatomes and myotomes. So if you lay down, L1 just goes through here, and then L2 goes to here. For both of those, the dermatome would be, or that's the dermatome. The myotome would be hip flexion. So for both of those, you just have them flex their hip on their own. And then L3 goes to here, and that one's myotome would be knee extension, which you'd have them on the end of the table for that one. They just extend their knee. L4 comes down here to the big toe, and that one would be ankle dorsiflexion, which they do on their own. L5 comes down here in between the first and second toe. That one would be great toe extension. And then S1 is from here to the little toe, fifth metatarsal. That one's ankle plantar flexion. And then S2 is in the back from like popliteal fossa area to the heel. And that one's knee flexion, which you'd also have them with their legs over the end of the table for that one. And then next I'll do the reflex testing. So if you come to the end of the table, so L1 through 5 would be patellar tendon, and you just tap here a couple times, get their reflex to happen. And then S1 and S2 would be Achilles tendon, so you just tap here, try and get their foot to move. That one's harder to get. And that is all.